Okay, this is a reaction video. This is from Mark Goldbridge. That's football. Worst season ever? This is a question what he's asking. Surely not. I guess if you're a Manchester United fan, you're 15th place because if he has, you look at he has on his left, our right, the top 10 teams in the Premier League, and Manchester United is nowhere to be seen. But let's see what he has to say. Maybe because Liverpool is going to win the title. Look, Liverpool is going to win the title regardless. I don't care if Arsenal had beaten West Ham on the weekend. Even though I'm an Arsenal supporter, I don't think Liverpool. I think Liverpool was always going to win the title. They were the best team all year long, and but again, let's see what he has to say. But Arsenal have only have themselves to blame for not beating West Ham. They should have bought a forward in the January transfer window. They did not, and now this is where they are.
Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Is this one of the worst Premier League seasons we've ever had?
Well, I guess if you're a Manchester United fan and Liverpool's going to win the title, then I guess you might want to say that.
Or is it actually one of the best? Get in the comments, let me know, because I find it amazing that over the last 24 hours, I've seen a lot of people on social media and beyond saying that this season is predictably very boring.
Well, again, that's because Liverpool has look. Did anybody see Manchester City being in fourth place at 44 points, but 20 points behind Liverpool, and then losing to Liverpool at home 2-0 yesterday? I mean, did you really think that, or did you think? I mean, I always thought Manchester City would be up near the top, but they are hell and gone away from winning anything this year.
Because the title race is over in February and the relegation race is basically over in February. However, I don't agree. I did my season predictions at the start of this season, funnily enough, and nobody was saying Liverpool. In fact, I said Liverpool would win the Champions League, and you bloody laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing anymore, are you? Because
well, they haven't won the Champions League yet. Okay, they've won the Premier League, and they aren't going to win the FA Cup. They may win the League Cup, but they haven't won the Champions League yet.
Actually, that looks like a very good prediction, but it didn't come from a space of, I think Liverpool are going to dominate English football in Europe. It came from a space that Liverpool have got a very good European Cup pedigree, and a lot of people just expected them to fall off because Klopp wasn't there, and I felt that Klopp had built foundations, and that Slot, when he didn't have a transfer window, obviously was coming on board willingly to work with the foundations of Klopp, and I just felt like it might not be a disaster, and lo and behold, it's been a bloody revelation. So that's why I tipped them for the Champions League, but I didn't tip them for the Premier League. I said back in May last year that Man City would win the league again and the three promoted teams would go down. So yeah, the title race is over in February and the relegation race is over in February.
Well, I don't know. The relegation zone is. I mean, Wolves still could get caught by Ipswich Town, but we'll find. I mean that's not completely over. But yeah, the Premier League champions. Look, it's still exciting to see who's going to finish in the top four. Is it going to be Man City? Is it going to be Newcastle? Is it going to be Bournemouth? Is it going to be Chelsea? Is it going to be Aston Villa? Is it going to be Brighton? Is it going to be Fulham? All those teams have a chance to finish in the top four.
Effectively, but it's not with the teams we predicted. So there in itself, I would say that, well, Liverpool weren't predicted to win it. New manager comes in his first season, dominates Europe and dominates the Premier League. I mean, the fact that it's Liverpool makes it unpalatable, but ultimately it's bloody fantastic, really, what Slot's done with that Liverpool team. It's very, very impressive to have the league wrapped up. I felt it was wrapped up at Christmas, but certainly now by February, it's impressive. And it might annoy a lot of people. It certainly annoys me, but it wasn't predictable.
Yeah, again, it wasn't predictable that Liverpool would be this dominant, but they are. But again, they haven't won the Champions League yet. They still have to play PSG, okay, and then potentially Aston Villa, potentially Arsenal. They have not, potentially Real Madrid. I mean, they have not won it yet, okay. They've won the Premier League, but they have not won the Champions League yet.
I think that this Premier League season, I mean, just look at the weekend. West Ham winning at Arsenal, Palace winning at Fulham, Wolves winning at Bournemouth. The unpredictability of the league, I don't think we've been in a position like this for a very long time, where we can sit and say so many teams are capable of beating so many other teams. I mean, you look at Nottingham Forest, where they are in the league. You look at Bournemouth. You look at Fulham, Brighton, Brentford. They're all capable of going to Anfield and winning. I know only one of them have, and that's a bad example, but they are capable of beating anybody. Obviously, they're capable of losing to anybody as well, but the Premier League is so unpredictable, and that's what we want. Yes, it's the best league in the world. Yes, it's the most watched league in the world, but is it the most unpredictable league in the world? I don't think it has been, and I think it is now. I think it's been a fantastic season, and
again, he put down the title is his worst season ever, and it was a question mark. This has not been a bad season. Realistically, from an Arsenal standpoint, it has been disappointing that we haven't been able to win the title, but we're still in the Champions League now. For whatever reason, the past 2 years we've gone out of the FA Cup in the third round, whether it be at home against Liverpool and then on penalty kicks against Manchester United. We made it to the semifinals of the League Cup and lost to Newcastle. We're still in the Champions League. We play PSV. It's actually been a pretty good season for Arsenal as I see it, but just probably not going to win any silverware, which is disappointing.
I think this is it's almost the difference between stats and the eye test, isn't it? You look at the stats at half-time in the game between Liverpool and Man City. Man City, I think, have had more shots, got more possession, etc., more corners, more pass accuracy.
But, of course, the most important stat is the score. It's just 2-0 at halftime, and all you need to do is just prevent Manchester City from scoring, which is probably easier to do this year than it ever has been.
But Liverpool deserve to be 2-0 up. And yeah, all right, the title race is over and the relegation race may well be over, but there's more to the Premier League season than that. Look at the top 5 race. Who's going to get top 5? And let's be honest, the Premier League title means a lot, but the money and wealth that you can get from being in the Champions League is massive. And all the way down to Fulham, they'll be believing that they might pull off a miracle. So we've got a really exciting race for top 5. I don't think that's going to be over in April, let alone February. And in addition to that, I just think the Man City fall-off has been worth... I'd pay to watch this season again.
Yeah, I just said that about Manchester City's fallen off, 20 points behind Liverpool for in fourth place. But you look at... again, the top 5, Manchester City, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Brighton, Fulham, all with a chance to make it into the top 4, the top 5, as he says it, and play in Europe.
I wish I'd known it was coming. I'd have settled down and enjoyed it more. I actually always thought Man City would bounce back, and the fact that they haven't has made the last 3 months fantastic. And we don't know what's going to happen with the 115 yet. So that itself, the fall off of Man City, has made it absolutely box office for me. So I actually think, putting aside the Liverpool thing as a United fan, this has actually been one of the best Premier League seasons for years. And look, the relegation race... And Man United are crap. And Spurs are crap. I mean, I'm saying this as a Man United fan. I still think it's been a bloody good Premier League season. Obviously, on a Man United point of view, it's been bloody terrible. But
yeah, but from a Manchester United... Look, if you look at it from a Manchester United point of view, it has been one of the worst seasons ever. Okay? You spent money on players. You brought them in. Erik ten Hag was your manager. You won the FA Cup back in May. And all of a sudden, you come in, brand new season, and you are in 15th place. You are not going to be relegated, but you may as well have been relegated because you guys have been absolutely garbage.
But I think it's been fantastic, and I almost ignore relegation now. I mean, it would be nice to bring relegation back into the Premier League drama, but last season, 3 up, 3 down. This season, 3 up, 3 down. Next season... Look, if I was looking at the Championship table, Leeds maybe, but the favourites to go down will be the 3 teams that come up, and Burnley and Sheffield United are 2nd and 3rd at the moment. There's no way they're staying up. So look, we can't solve that as fans. We're not going to get exciting relegation battles anymore, and I wish we bloody did.
Oh, I think we will. It's hard to say, But yeah, it might bring Wolves down. Ipswich might stay up. I think Manchester United play Ipswich next, which is going to be a difficult game for them. But we'll see.
I mean, the title race is great, but the jeopardy of dropping out of the Premier League for a Wolves or a Man United or an Everton, etc., is bloody massive. But that's not happening anymore because the Premier League is so strong. The Championship can't deal with that strength when you've got teams like Wolves who've got 2 or 3 internationals, 4 or 5 internationals in their team, and they're the team you've got to stay above. And look at look at Ipswich and Leicester and Southampton at the weekend. They all lost and they all conceded 4 goals. The gap is not their fault, but the relegation battle was never going to be exciting anyway. But I genuinely think the quality can get better. I think there's a really big question about how possession is becoming less and less important. I was speaking about
possession is a very overrated. Arsenal had more possession than West Ham, and they still lost 1-0.
About this with Robbie on DR Sports today about how possession is becoming not as important as it used to be. Lots of teams now win games with 30-40% and let the other team have possession. I think this is a good thing. It massively frustrates me how every team plays out from the back and they concede so many goals from it. So hopefully we're seeing an evolution of football.
Yeah, the playing out from the back I've never liked, I never enjoyed. But yeah, you're right on that.
But that's something the Premier League's lost for a long time. The goals from outside the box, taking people on, that needs to come back. And maybe we're starting to see the momentum shift towards that. But the actual competitive nature of the Premier League, I've never known it like this. I don't think I've ever known it like this. I mean,
because you look at some of the games. Look, Arsenal play Nottingham Forest on Wednesday, and that's going to be a very difficult game, especially when Arsenal can't score. But yeah, I mean, look, Ipswich versus Manchester United is 18th versus 15th. The competitiveness is incredible in the Premier League this year.
A question: when have we ever had a Premier League season where it is so competitive? And I don't think we have. I was talking about this with like Spurs. If you look at the where are Spurs? I mean, I can't really say this as a Man United fan, but scroll down FC. So Fulham have got 39 points, and Spurs have got
33 points.
33 points. So Spurs are 6 points behind Fulham. And Spurs fans are saying we're only 6 points off Fulham and they're only 5 points off top 4. And I'm like, yeah, 6 points in a competitive Premier League season. You've got to win 2 in a row. They've got to lose 2 in a row, and then you've only caught up with them, and then you've got to start getting better results than them as well. That's very difficult in this season because
it is incredibly difficult in this season. And look, let's face it. Yeah, Spurs beat Ipswich Town 4-1, I think, on the weekend, and they beat Manchester United 1-0. Okay, do you think they're going to win out, or start winning games now? Do you think they've turned the corner? I'm not so sure about that.
Because teams like Fulham, Brighton, Villa, they don't lose 3 or 4 in a row. They might lose 2 and then they might win 2. And Spurs don't go and win 4 or 5 in a row. It's so hard to do that. Whereas in previous years, I think from about 8th down, you'd expect to beat all those teams home and away. You wouldn't always do it. There'd be a few shocks, but you would expect a 6-point gap would be something that you'd look at a run of 5 fixtures and go, yeah, we'll catch them in that. But this season, no. So I don't think there's been one as competitive. So
yeah, I mean, you look when you look at the teams that you're playing. It's been very difficult to get 3 points. The only team that really has been dominant has been Liverpool. They're going to be the champions of the Premier League. They've deserved it. They've won it, and but every other game is, it's been competitive. It's been very difficult to get 3 points for matches.
Let me know in the comments, is it one of the worst Premier League seasons ever because it's predictable, or is it one of the best? I think it's one of the best. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best too. I agree. Look, from my perspective, from Arsenal, it's disappointing. We're going to finish in second place. Probably going to finish in second place. Maybe finish third. Who knows? But we're still going to finish top four. That's what it looks like. Assuming because at least defensively we were able to stop teams from scoring. But again, it is what it is. But I think it's been an interesting season. I think it's been a good season. But please click like, share, and subscribe for Mark Goldbridge, and please click like, share, and subscribe for me as well. And have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.